Greetings all you maniacs, minds, and crimes, and welcome back to another Warframe weapon showcase. Today we're going to be going to the Stahlta, whatever. I'm like 90% sure I didn't do a video on this. If I'm remembering, I don't think I did. I quickly looked through my channel and I didn't find anything. Whatever. So, Stahlta. It's kind of an old weapon at this point, but it's damn cool and powerful and a lot of fun. So here's the build. Now, as you see, there is no serration. Why? Well, with the changes to guns, with, the arcanes, the new galvanized mods, and me doing a bunch of testing, everything, serration doesn't actually add all that much. So taking it off is just like absolutely negligible for basically everything. Now there might be some exceptions where you probably want serration, but and also it just frees up more mod slots and adds more variety. So that's really cool. This weapon already has 1.2 meters worth of punch through, which is more than enough. So I have critical delay and hammer shot and vial acceleration. So vial acceleration is obviously for the fire rate because this thing does have a bit of a low fire rate, and with critical delay on here, yeah. So critical delay adds that much critical chance. Opposed to if we take point strike, yeah, it's only 12%, but with a weapon like the Stahlta, it's actually, a fairly nice little boost. And I do have a ribbon. This is a decent ribbon, I would say. But the issue being, I would have to format this thing again, and I would want to roll this ribbon for even better stats, but I can't be bothered because I don't really care about ribbons all that much. Anyway, maxed out primary deadhead, so that's the bonuses we'll be giving. And yeah, it's a full auto weapon that fires, well, rails, essentially, fucking like slabs of metal, and the alt fire is an AoE explosion. And if we take a look at the stats, we go down here and we can see the stats here. So this thing is always going to crit, it's going to have a high critical multiplier, and always going to proc status, and this thing will in fact proc radiation. So that's pretty cool. So the alt fire is something that I would use against large hordes of enemies, or if I'm playing with mag, I would fire it into the bubble and give it a huge boost. So anyway, this thing also has a really neat effect when it kills enemies. So it basically acts like a crossbow or any bow, and it flings them into the stratosphere or cuts them in half. So when I start shooting these guys, you'll see that the damage isn't great, and then once the mods kick in, so obviously there is no serration. So alright, we have one stack of primary deadhead and one stack of split chamber. Okay, yeah, you that's how much difference these mods and arcanes make, if people didn't already know that already. And for the alt fire, yeah. And I love how quickly this weapon reloads. I can see a version of this, like a Tenet version, where the rails like violently explode if enough of them are in an enemy. Although at the same time, I don't know if that would be beneficial. Anyway, so there is another build I have for this, and it is the viral build. I changed one mod. I got rid of high voltage for rhyme rounds, and that's it. Nothing in the X-list, although in the X-list you could put whatever the hell you want. This thing does not need ammo recovery because it's an assault rifle, but vigilante supplies will give you crit ups. So, or terminal velocity might be cool too. These projectiles are moving pretty quick. Like, They're not slow by any means. They're moving. They're moving. But I can understand why if someone would want them to move even faster. So we are going to briefly go into the steel path. But what I want to highlight with this weapon is not its effectiveness in steel path, because even though I am not, a meta sweat lord, I do not follow meta at all. Steel path, there's just so many fucking enemies that the Stahlta starts to feel a bit awkward to use. And I don't even really focus on steel path. I do it if I need an arcane slot. It's not something I focus on, but we're going to briefly go into the steel path, and then I'm going to do a Grineer disruption and then a Corpus disruption. So without further ado, let's get that started. All right, let's start this disruption, and I just want to showcase what this thing can do against the steel path enemies. Steel path. We're doing steel path. So I'm not even really going to finish this. I just want to show you what this thing does. Also, by the way, Nidus is going to be giving crit chance. He's going to be giving an additional 230% crit. So I'm just going to stack up here, just so I can actually survive. Because Nidus needs his juice. Also, my Panzer is going to be spreading viral everywhere, and I'm going to be doing corrosive and the condition overload mod for rifles. So, just like I showed, it's weak at start, and then once I get mods going. Now, obviously, I do have a bonus crit, so I'm just gonna, yeah. And you can use weaker enemies like these butchers here to keep everything up. I'm going to do bonus crit, and this should red crit. Yep. Life support incoming. So, if you want to use it with Nidus and just do this kind of stuff, you absolutely can, but just using the weapon's alt fire is a little boring to me. Again, that reload is really quick. So, I think I've proved my point. And also, this thing is super slash forward, so you're going to be getting slash procs. Like, 100% guaranteed you're going to get slash. Also, this weapon isn't too hard to get your hands on. It's just time consuming. Anyway, let's move on to the Grineer disruption. Alrighty. So I'm just going to do one round of this, and I'm basically just going to skip ahead until when I'm killing the Demolist. Also, yeah, the physics on this thing are pretty hilarious. They just like send enemies fucking into the next dimension. I'm pretty, excited for the upcoming event where I can get all the prime stuff I want. That'd be cool, because I'm only missing Volt Primes Neuroptics. So, that's something I'm going to be going for. I have a lot of prime stuff. So, and also, by the way, yeah. This shouldn't be surprising to anyone. I take this thing into arbitrations, and it handles Demolist very well. It just hits so hard. Like, I know it's like not the strongest assault rifle in the game, but it hits pretty damn hard. Hi. Bye. Oh, fire rate boost. Okay, so this can happen. Okay, and the last one is probably going to be the Nox. And enemy armor boost. Okay, so this is going to be, a decent sort of test. Obviously, if I wanted to really show the potential of this weapon, I would be staying in here for at least 10 rounds. But I ain't doing that. Also, by the way, I'm probably going to be doing a video on this new Zal hammer I made. The Happy Hammer. Because hammers are fun. Hi, Nox. Bye. I don't remember what's in that relic. It's either I think it's the Pandora Prime. Anyway, now we are going to be moving on to the Corpus disruption on Lua. And obviously I'm going to be changing the build of this because even though it won't matter, consistency, using the enemy's weaknesses and all that. Oh, nice. Can't even tell from here. DE, fix please. Worst thing in the game, can't even tell what your relics is. Sometimes can't even tell you what your relic is. It breaks the game. It's awful. Please fix. Oh, and if you're curious, Nezha has nothing on him that is going to be boosting damage. No damage boosting helmet's abilities or anything. So, alright, now I just need a key to spawn. Oh, look at that. Again, I love that fast reload. If only the Trumna had a decent reload speed and not 5 fucking seconds. Whatever. Trumna's still one of my favorite weapons. And not for its nuke, just because I love the feel of it. Yeah, that's somatic fibers. Also, yeah, pinned to the fucking wall. He's a nice decoration. He's got very weird face, but yeah, it's a nice little ornament. You're not killing enemies and pinning to the wall. You're making art. Look at that, beautiful. Robots don't make good art, but these guys do. I thought he'd rip in half. They get cut cleanly in half. Like it's fucking Mortal Kombat. Very weird. Yeah. I mean, this should be pretty obvious to people. Like, this thing is going to wreck. But trust me when I say this. Even if this was an arbitration and I was doing like 15 rounds of this, the damage of this weapon would not fall off all that much. And also, because I do disruptions with teams, you have your entire squad shooting at the Demolith, so it's fine. And the Stahlta hits really fucking hard. Like, once everything is going. Now, obviously, the damage is a bit of a ramp up, but I think that's completely fine. Now, instead of hammer shot, you can, in fact, have, like, a heat mod on it. But because this thing has low critical damage, I mean, it has a, like, what? What's the base critical damage on this thing? Like 1.9 or something? Like, it has really low critical damage. I just find that hammer shot is very effective. I don't know if DE will ever release a prime hammer shot because I think that'd be a bit ridiculous. Okay, this bastard's coming up here. Is it a hyena? Yeah. Oh, it's a Bursa. That was actually the toughest. Oh, that's for Gara Prime. I already have Gara Prime. Yeah, the Bursas are really tough Demolists. Anyway. So, that's the Stahlta. It's a fantastic weapon, especially if you like auto rifles. It also has its alt-fire, which I didn't bother showing off too much, but it one-shot steel path enemies, so it's going to dominate the star chart. So, the Stahlta overall, it's a pretty powerful weapon. I find it quite a lot of fun to use. It's very satisfying. It's seriously satisfying on Zaku with his 1, because essentially you're spreading mini mag bubbles everywhere and it just shreds. So, either way, that is all I really have to say about the Stahlta. It's overall a very, very good weapon. Yeah, the critical multiplier is 1.8. Damn, at base. So that's why I have hammer shot, because without it, it's 4. And most weapons is like what, like a 4.4 or something. Either way, That's all I had to say about it. Definitely would recommend. And I'm pretty excited to see if we'll ever get an upgraded version of this, like a tenant version. I assume we'll get a tenant version. What other kind of tenant weapons will happen? I have no freaking clue. So, thank you guys so much for watching. And remember, in Trilby, we trust.